Welcome back to Simply Sakura, my friends. I hope you're all doing well today. My name is Gary Sakura, and this is my motovlog and true crime stories. I simply drive around on my motorbike, and I tell true crime stories. And if you're new here, welcome, and I am so glad that you decided to stop by. Do you enjoy true crime or unsolved mysteries while seeing a different, unique type of a motovlog? Then I suggest that you hit that subscribe button down below. I don't want you to miss out on any of my future true crime stories. Last week I talked about 4 true crime stories while I continued to drive around the Panama City, Florida area. And if you missed it, no worries. Simply click in the upper right hand corner now and you'll magically appear. Alright, a little history of where I'm filming today and before we begin with our crime stories. So basically, right behind me is the DuPont Bridge. It was originally built in 1929. And it's the only bridge that connects Panama City to the Tyndall Air Force Base area. The Florida Department of Transportation is going to be redoing the bridge. They say it's going to take 4 to 6 years before a new bridge is complete. Hopefully there's no hurricanes or I'm not here. It's going to be a mess. I don't know how they're going to redirect, because this is the only bridge that connects you to the Tyndall Air Force Base area. And where I'm standing here right now used to be the Tyndall Gunnery Range, and it was developed on January 13th, 1941 in support of World War II. January 13, 1948. This area became known as Tyndall Air Force Base. It was named after a highly decorated World War I pilot, Francis B. Tyndall. October 10th, 2018, a Category 5 hurricane named Michael devastated this entire area. Hurricane Michael, the eye came through here. The eye was 35 miles wide. Can you imagine that? 35 miles wide of an eye. It had wind speeds up to 165 miles an hour. It's a lot of damage that Hurricane Michael caused. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Tyndall Air Force Base and the city of Panama City are slowly recovering still from that massive hurricane. So that's just a little history of the area where I'm filming today. I hope you guys enjoy it. With that, let's dive right into our crime stories for today. Our first true crime story of the day takes place in Cocoa, Florida, where a man was arrested in Volusia County after deputies said he swiped not 1, but 2 Cocoa police cars and then led authorities on a multi-county chase in the span of 1 afternoon. It all started when someone called police to report a suspicious person on I-95 in Cocoa, Volusia County, Florida. Officers responded and came upon Xavier Cummings, age 33, and pictured here. Xavier escaped by jumping in one of the marked patrol cars, sparking a high-speed chase on I-95. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood said that the officers in Cocoa tried a pit maneuver, which sent the car into the wooded area. Xavier and the vehicle were in the wooded area just off the highway. As officers attempted to take the suspect into custody, he evaded arrest and fled by running away and jumping into a second Cocoa police car that was running and was unlocked. Xavier drove north on I-95 with multiple agencies giving chase as he crossed into Volusia County. The chase led to a brief closure on northbound I-95. It took a while, but the police finally foiled Xavier's flee by using stop sticks to disable the second police cruiser's tires. The chase was caught on a Volusia County Sheriff's helicopter camera and one of the sheriff's body cams. Here is the video.
I traffic's down on 95. We got it. Thatcher, if we can go with all agencies and have them shut their on-ramps off, please.
Copy.
Hey, Mike, I thought I saw smoke as he was coming around that corner, so it shouldn't last too much longer. 10-4. Guys, give me your speed. We're about 105, 110, trying to catch up. They're still a little ways away. It's pretty good traffic. Still south of that there one's got it, if you want to call it.
10-3, 10-3, someone just hit him into the woods.
Alright, everybody heads up. He's trying to drive the car out of the woods. Alright guys, we're going to get 2 shields. We're going to approach, trying to rock the car back and forth so he's still inside. Look, when they get a shield, let's pin him in.
What he's got going, bro?
Watch him. Throw it to me. Coming up the driver's seat. Move your hand.
Y'all do not walk up on this car. We got enough people up here. Dog! That's the dog!
Hey, get behind the car. Oh, you kidding me?
He's on the move again in a Coco K9 Explorer going north on 95. Air 1, follow that car. He got another car.
Air 1, Skydive still northbound.
That weapon's accessible in the cab. Any other vehicle dealing with this, block your doors. Let's stick it.
You got him?
Alright.
What?
That's the 32 outside. Car 1, give it Air 1 the air.
Still northbound 95, half mile south of Dunlop. Half mile south of Dunlop.
Lieutenant Shank, I need to know if there's any guns in that car that he just stole in the front.
Still northbound on 95, passing Dunlop. Traffic stopped on the on-ramp for Dunlop. Still no traffic northbound center lane. Okay, vehicle smoking north of 95, or north of Dunlop by about a half mile. Going into the inside lane.
Being advised that's a SWAT officer's vehicle. Don't be in the same lane with him, he's going to lose debris all over the road. Alright, he's braking for the median, guys, he's braking for the median. Braking for the median, everybody slow down, don't ball up here.
It's underneath the wires. Underneath the wires. In the median. Ten-3, 10-3.
We got one thrown down on the ground. Central. Send the fire department to the 252, and if there's a canine that can come.
Deputy said Xavier told them, following the arrest, that he was given permission to take the Coco patrol cars through mental telepathy. The online report indicated Xavier showing signs of mental health issues, stated he used crystal meth earlier that day, and he had not slept in approximately 24 hours. When a judge denied Xavier bond, he had an outburst that caused him to be removed from the courtroom. Xavier was shouting, "Illuminati, help!" Xavier faces a slew of charges, including armed burglary of a conveyance, escape, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement, 2 counts possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 2 counts of grand theft firearm, 2 counts of grand theft motor vehicle, and driving while license suspended. Xavier likely won't be getting behind the wheel of any kind of a car for a very long time. But I'll bet the wild ride was fun while it lasted. Our second true crime story of the day takes place in New York City, where a video emerges of a teacher doing something a bit tad bizarre during her classroom Zoom call. A spicy slip of the tongue led to a Spanish teacher being yanked from her classes after investigators found she performed an inappropriate sexual act during a Zoom lesson. A lesson no student will ever forget. Most of what you learn in any given year of high school is instantly forgotten as soon as summer starts. But one New York teacher gave her students a lesson they'll remember forever. It happened as students at the prestigious Columbia Secondary School for Math, Science, and Engineering remotely watched a live Zoom class. According to an online report, Amanda K. Fletcher, age 37, appeared to suck the nipple of an unidentified topless male. About 12 minutes before the end of class, Fletcher appeared on screen, eating spaghetti with the shirtless man. Then, Fletcher unexplainably began to suck the man's nipple while rocking her head back and forth. When she finished, her face turned in full view of the screen, and she began gyrating her shoulders, and then smiled at her students. Then it was back to business as usual. Fletcher, taking her mouth off of the man's chest, resumed teaching and began discussing a worksheet. It didn't take long, though, for videos of the bizarre behavior to make rounds on Snapchat and other social media platforms, which, unfortunately, had been taken down. Whether or not this was some kind of unintentional exhibitionist, Fletcher certainly isn't talking. If Fletcher was trying to shock her students on purpose, she certainly succeeded. But she also put her $105,000 salary at risk, which is a pretty good salary for a secondary teacher, right? Fletcher has been reassigned, and the Department of Education said it will pursue disciplinary action against her, though the scandal is already over 6 months old and Fletcher is still on the payroll. As for her students, I hope that, at the very least, they learn that nipples are erogenous zones for men too. Just kidding. I hope that they learned is that when you need to get your freak on, for goodness sake, turn your freaking camera off. Nobody wants to see you getting down and dirty. Our final true crime story of the day takes place in Novokuznetsk, Russia, where an obese woman smothered her husband to death with her butt. There are a lot of bad ways to die, but given the options, maybe this one wouldn't be the worst. A man named Adar was recently smothered to death when his 224-pound wife, Tatyana, sat on him during a drunken dispute. It all went down in Novokuznetsk, Russia. The couple had been fighting, and Tatyana apparently thought that if she sat on her husband, it would help calm him down. Somehow, he ended up face down on the bed, and Tatyana planted her buttocks, her massive buttocks, on his neck, refusing to let Adar go as he begged for forgiveness. Adar's daughter witnessed what was happening and immediately ran to seek help from a neighbor, who dismissed the incident as a lover's quarrel. You gotta love Russia. When Adar stopped struggling, Tatyana apparently became frightened and tried to wake him up by shaking and shouting at him. It simply didn't work. Adar died from asphyxia, from blocking the respiratory system, as his face was wedged into the mattress, as Tatyana sat on his neck, using her legs so he could not lift it. Or, as an online news outlet more crudely put it, Tatyana strangled her husband to death with her fat ass after drinking way too much alcohol. In an initial trial, the murder charges against Tatyana were dropped, and she was convicted with death by negligence. Tatyana was sentenced to 18 months of corrective labor and fined $3,500 in morale damages. What are the biggest takeaways from this tragic tale? Number 1, don't piss off your woman, especially if she is bigger than you. And number 2, always stay upright during an argument. This concludes today's MotoVlog and True Crime Stories with Simply Sakura. I do hope you found these stories interesting. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And if you have any comments, I highly encourage that you leave them down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.
With me and live my fantasy. I don't wanna just be fed.
What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta? Why did the banana go to the doctor? It wasn't peeling well. What did the pencil say to the paper? I dot my I's on you. How far do burgers go in school? Through college. Did you hear about the cross-eyed teacher? He couldn't control his pupils. What do you call a cat who eats lemons? A sourpuss. And now, our top 5 mugshots of the week.